Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today we're going to the workshop to have a look at a top-performing map at the moment. This one based on the city of Seoul in Korea. Now, it's not an exact like-for-like. The highways are a little bit fictional, but the river layout and the mountains do seem to be about right. So if you're after a creative, real-life recreation, then maybe this might be a way to go. And what with only 8 maps, including this one, until Christmas, we're trying to find you something just a little bit different to play as well. So let's have a little look at today's map. But first of all, one of these. That's right, taking time to hit that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, helps to grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map, yes, it's a Capital City Seoul 2021 by Mr. On and On and On and On. And oh, there's your start square. Yes, highways coming from both directions. Of course, once you connect those two up, you'll get traffic flowing through your city. So bear that in mind. The terrain heights, as again, it's very flat, apart from the very mountainous mountains that we have. And then resources look like this. I guess it's not really much of a resource city build, more about just getting the getting those zones down. And of course, if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing looks like this. All of the varieties are there. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC required today. In fact, no assets at all. We will be using the vanilla European theme, the realistic 1.2 LUT. The description is well written, but and translated as well. Not too in depth. Now, do bear in mind, if you're going to take this on and you're playing with the vanilla European theme, you will have vanilla European buildings spawning. And so you might want to grab something like the environmental changer mod, sorry, the environment changer mod, bloody penguin, I do believe, which will switch this so you can have maybe tropical theme, or of course you can choose your own custom theme, whichever works best for you. But yes, you'll be getting European buildings if you run with the European theme. Right, highways are all elevated, they're clean, they're tidy, we have what I do believe are plopped intersections, and yes, I do like a good swirly about, and that is a good swirly about. Not too much to talk about there. We're going to be going underneath a very high, slightly rickety looking rail here, and yeah, well, this map has a game vibe about it rather than a realistic vibe. Yes, it is a realistic inverted commas map, but it does feel very gamey, and I guess that adds to gameplay, so credit for that. But I think if you are looking for that realistic recreation of Seoul, you're probably not looking at today's map, not without a bit of a rebuild. Intersection with an intersection right there, and across the river you'll find some more intersections. Now the river has what I would call a perfect bridge. Got some trees just, yeah, it's dipping their toes into the water there. Oh, and there's another one over here with his trunks on. Yeah, you never heard that joke before, have you? There's always somebody new to the channel who will be laughing away at the he's got his trunks on joke. Yeah, we do it every time. And then heading over this dry riverbed, which we won't come back and look at later. There's other things we'll be checking out. And there's your start square. Plenty of flat buildable space, and yes, those mountains, they do exist like this. The city is built very much around and in between them. Heading around this way, and then we've got a big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge. As we always say, again, on the channel. I have so many tropes. I need to weed some of them out. Oh, now, this bridge isn't perfectly aligned. I think I'd like to see that cleaner and tidier, considering the rest of the map is really clean and tidy, like the perfect bridge there. I'd like to see some more like that. Oh, loads of, not just drowning trees, deep sea scuba diving trees going on there. Okay, and heading off towards the edge of the map, which means we can have a look at the rail. The rail is, well, you've already seen there is some aspects of the rail which might be a little bit of a stretch. again, it's a game player's map rather than a true accurate recreation. I don't think there's anybody ever claiming in the description that this is a 100% recreation. Like here, we have uppy downies for the trains, and it works very neatly. It works better for trams, I think, than trains. And so yes, it needs to be a lot more smoothed out for me to be able to buy into those sort of junctions. But again, game player's map. Did I do that in my first couple of cities? Yes, I absolutely did. And did I have any problems with it? No, I absolutely didn't. It was only much later on when I started seeing maps from some of the top creators of the time, the Zossos, the Scotland Toms, etc., where you suddenly start realising that little down ramps like this one coming down off of the, that's really steep. Didn't even consider to me that we could do better. And as a community, we not just can do better, and we do better. Oh, I said do. But as rail goes, in terms of gameplay, I don't really have too much of an issue with these things. It's just a question of are you going to be a map snob today? I can be a map snob, and sometimes you just get a map that just says, play me, and this is a map that does exactly that. It just says play me. So I think we do have to rate it appropriately, but I think we can appreciate there is play. But oh, hang on, this looks troublesome. First of all, some encroaching foliage, but I'm more looking at the way that the bridge is starting. And yes, blue mantle. Could see the blue mantle without even seeing the blue mantle. More encroaching foliage down here as well. Doesn't affect the game. It's all about aesthetics and detail. But yeah, in terms of gameplay, it doesn't really affect it, apart from the time that you spend maybe deleting the said foliage off of the line, which would, the more there is to fix, the more it does affect the possibility of your gameplay. Heading now down towards the edge of the map, which means we'll be preparing for that intermission. I'll run up one of my tutorials for you, one that seems appropriate for this map, and we'll come back in a few moments. For the shipping. As you can see, we do have ships. Oh, I like this. I do like that. That's cool. Yeah, we do have shipping. Oh, do we have any water flow? And what do we think of the map as a whole? All those questions coming up after this short break.
Do your bridges look like the game's AI has gone on holiday? Would you like vanilla bridges to be proud of? Then you need the beginner's guide to perfect bridges by BonBonB. Click the information button below.
And so back to Capital City Seoul 2021 by Mr. On and On and On and On and On and On and On. Oh dear. Ran out of oxygen completely and I just spluttered to life. Yeah, right angle turn here. Some rocks under the water there as well. And then bridge there. And for a bridge there. Might have a bit of clipping on the pillar there. Definitely got some clipping on the pillar going on here. And here there's definitely an issue with a bridge that's too low there. We'll have a look in a moment. Right angle turn here. Going up another river. We got shipping routes everywhere you might want them. Just are you bothered by the technicalities of can the ship actually pass through a bridge? And then we go off the edge of the map over here. So I mean, for example, we've got this guy coming up here, and there are some rocks under the water there. Now the ship isn't having any problems with it, but is that actually a problem? And then down here, this is your water flow. At the start square, water flow, it's slow, but it's moving. I think there's plenty of water going on here, so I think in terms of vanilla style gameplay, wanting to pump and just stick sewage into here, as long as you're clever, you will have no problems with that. But yes, back to the shipping routes. Let's have a little look at this bridge being a little bit too low for the vanilla cruisers, and then just a little bit further up the way we have that rail bridge, which is just a little bit low even for the freighters, and we have a pillar in the route as well. So detailing, there are some issues that we could be picking up on and maybe making some fixes about. Right, map as a whole, I think it's I think the highway layout, although it's not true to real life, I think there's plenty of good stuff going on. I do like the shapes of the mountains as well. I think with the transitions between the mountains and the flat areas kind of works for me. I think it's been handled quite nicely. We've got around here, this is your start area around here. You can see the start square with the asset of the day tucked in there. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Then we have all these rivers, and there is multiple instances of just soggy trunks. Soggy trunks. And yeah, it's not the prettiest. Won't take very long to fix if you're bothered about fixing it. Heading up there, the spawn point is up in that route over there. Let's pull the camera back and have a look at the map as a whole. We could zoom in and look at other areas, but they're all going to be very, very much of the same ilk. Many of the water areas will have drowned trees in areas where we kind of like miss them. But in terms of gameplay, there's plenty of buildable spots. It's based very much on Seoul, although the highways, again, aren't an exact recreation, but I think they do work towards gameplay themselves. So, well, have a think. Have a think. Meanwhile, we'll come down to Start Square and have a look at my slightly inappropriate asset of the day. Yes, a JP Office. I think that was Comco Company Limited or something like that. That's how the Japanese characters there translate. By Cur66. Now, why slightly inappropriate? Well, Korea and Japan have a somewhat testy history if you go back to 1945 and before, and so popping a Japanese office into the middle of their capital city might be seen by some as being inappropriate. I didn't even consider it actually when I was randomly picking out the assets for the week, and I apologise to anybody who's been offended. For those people, I've got a very cute factoid of the day. Here it comes. Factoids because factoids. Dolphins. They sleep with one eye open. I told you it was a cute one. Does remind me of my friend. We're at the swimming pool. I'll tell you what, that's a blowhole I don't want to be seeing again. JP Office by Cur66. Today's asset of the day. Very nice it is too. Sometimes those very generic buildings. In fact, that one was #1 on the Steam chart when I put together the chart last weekend. Really good to see very generic buildings like that can be used in many city builds. I know the chart's been a little bit broken, the workshop's been a bit broken lately, but it's still broken for everybody. So to get to #1, good result. Anyway, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. What do I think of today's map? Well, I don't hate it. And there's going to be a few of you in the comments that, remember, be kind in the comments. If you hate the map, find something positive to say. I don't actually hate it at all. I think aesthetically, it's got a look about it. It is a very vanilla map because it's vanilla. But I think it's got that very stylistic kind of look to it. I can't give it a high score, but I'm going to give it 3 stars. I'm going to give it just slightly below middle 3 stars, but 3 stars is what it's getting. Detailing, there's a lot of work to be done with this one. The highway layout is pretty strong, but beyond that, everything else is a bit weak and it needs work. So I'm going to go lowish 2 stars. Plenty of work to be done. Gameplay potential, if you want to play a fantasy city build of Seoul or just a random city build of anywhere that has mountains stuck in the middle, good score, 3 stars. Capital City Seoul 2021 by Mr. On and On. And on and on and on and on. Such a great name. Some creators have got the best names, and Mr. On and On has definitely got one of those. Right, okay, we have made it to the end of another show. 7 maps to come. And then we'll have a little bit of a break and the Map of the Year show. Meanwhile, I'm going to keep you busy by asking you to use the word of the day into the comments. If you're still here, you're part of that 20 and out elite, the elite group of people that make it to the last 20 seconds of the show. Use that word of the day to show just how loyal you really are. And I'll see you tomorrow for another map in the What's Map series.